Michael is one of the biggest biopics of all time, and it comes with some sensational controversies and senseless contradictions. Join me as I explore some of the many issues surrounding the King of Pop's fascinating story. Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone out there is doing well. Today I'll be discussing Michael a little bit more. Now this film has been slaughtered by the critics, praised by the fans, and on top of that, the filmmakers were forced to change some of the content and structure before the film was released. I've even heard that they shot some material with an actress playing Diana Ross, and even that hit the cutting room floor. So the controversies and contradictions surrounding Michael are rampant. Now, a couple of weeks ago, Michael was receiving some early praise that it was one of the best biopics ever made, and I was truly looking forward to it. I went into it with an open mind, and for me, this movie delivered. It's a celebratory piece. And in the blink of an eye, everything changed, and Michael received some scathing reviews from the critics, which resulted in an atrocious Rotten Tomatoes aggregate. And then there were some reports that mentioned that the film was to sensationally open in 1993 with that very first allegation, and then it would backtrack and cover Michael's life and his rise to fame, but then it would be bookended with the outcome of that 93 allegation. So the film began in 93, ended in 93, and I think the 2 hours or so that we got is what we were always going to get. We were just going to get this 93 prologue and then the bookend. There was always going to be a second movie which dealt with further allegations, then of course the proposed This Is It concert, and of course Michael's untimely death. Regardless, this movie is an absolute barnstorming crowd pleaser, and despite the controversies and contradictions, it does tell Michael's early life pretty well the best it's ever going to be told. So it really is pointing more and more in the direction that many of these critics weren't willing to give Michael a chance from the get-go. They seem to approach this movie with reservations. They've heard all the controversies. They knew at one point that it was actually going to be two films, and when that press leaks out, it sometimes doesn't sit well. So I think many of these critics brought baggage to the table and didn't necessarily watch it with a clear head. And I also believe that some of them are torn right down the middle, what is true and not true, and they think that they were going to get a little bit more when it comes to allegations and serious stuff. But this movie is the making of Michael. It's his early years. It's a depiction of him at his peak. I think they need to understand that this is a celebratory movie, and that's what it's aiming for, and that's how it succeeds and soars for an audience who are truly committed to Michael's legacy. It seems that a lot of the critics' talk is very contradictory, and one of the things that didn't sit well with me, in fact it didn't make any sense at all, is that nearly every critic has praised Jafar Jackson's performance. They think he absolutely nailed it. And when it comes to those music performances, most of the critics call them electrifying showstoppers. So if they like the performance of the lead character and they like those show-stopping music performances, what is really the problem here? It seems to me that their mind was pointing in the direction of something that this film isn't. And this film is not trying to explore the controversies. It's a celebration. It's the making of Michael, how he came to be. In fact, it's a very sympathetic look at his young life and his subsequent rise in fame. And the other way you could look at it is, if they got Michael right and they got the music sequences done spectacularly well, we're looking now at the drama of the piece. And the funny thing is, most critics agree that when it comes to the drama, we're talking Oscars here for Coleman Domingo, the guy who plays Michael's dad. So 1 minute they're saying all of these good things, and then it seems they choose to spit out all of the good work into a dumpster. Whatever the case, making this movie was a huge undertaking for all concerned, and we should be thankful that we got 2 amazing hours which celebrate Michael's early life. Yes, a lot was left on the cutting room floor, but I'm sure there'll be more to come. Now it's over to you to talk about the controversies and contradictions surrounding Michael. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Share your honest thoughts. Let's get this conversation marinating. So that just about does it from me. Go and see Michael in the cinema. Make up your own mind. I find this movie extremely intriguing. The fans are certainly hyped about it. They love the movie and they want to see more. So hopefully common sense will prevail, Michael will escape the bad reviews, and he will rise once again because he's a tremendous artist, and this movie really explores that, celebrates that, and proves that music is one of the greatest art forms of them all. So thanks for joining me. I will see you all again very soon. Take care.